Hello, and welcome to the review video for the Hikvision DS-2CD2035FWD-I. The 2035 is a 3MP mini bullet with IR LEDs. This model we tested was the 6mm focal length option. So let's start with a standard scenario that almost every IP camera would come across in its day-to-day recording, a bright, clear daytime scene. As you can see, the camera's 3MP sensor handles the brightness impressively well, with very little detail lost even in the brightest parts of the scene. It also does a pretty good job of capturing the detail in the darker parts at the left edge of the image, with the foliage and squirrels on the feeder clearly visible. Now, as we move forward to a slightly brighter midday scene, we get an even clearer sense of how much detail the image has for what is only a 3MP sensor. We can make out a lot of detail up to and beyond the washing line, which is 21.5 meters from the camera. It only really starts to drop detail around the shed, which is almost 40 meters from the camera. That is impressive enough performance for most scenarios. You will also see as the cat moves through the image that even recording at only 10 frames per second, there is very little distortion when movement occurs, whether it be fast or slow. Next, as we move to late afternoon, we see the camera probably struggling the most so far, with a lot of the scene falling into shadow. Even so, the camera handles the important elements of the scene, that being the patio, path and lawn, quite well, seeing as the wide dynamic range wasn't turned on. The final daytime scene we have is at sunset, and this is probably the best visual performance of the whole test. Not only is the image incredibly detailed from top to bottom, but also we can see more detail over further distances than under any previous lighting conditions. We can actually make out the individual panels on the front of the shed, as well as a pretty good idea of the facial features of the man who is roughly 29 meters from the camera. Now we come to another crucial part of our test, the IR night vision. With the 2035, the cut filter does appear to come in very early, with a lot of the scene still visible. But in actual fact, it's probably better that it switches early, as the black and white image actually has a lot more detail and would catch clearer evidence than the colour image at this time of day. Finally, we come to our last test scene, total darkness. At first glance, the camera's performance is very impressive, with the cat's movement from the bottom to the middle of the image clearly captured, even down to its fur pattern. Although on further viewing, the IR doesn't quite reach as far as the expected 30 meters, as the washing line, which is only about 20 meters away, is barely visible. But this is probably more to do with our positioning of the camera, as a lot of the IR is reflecting off the foliage in the middle of the scene. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out the full review via the tab above this video, or by searching 2035 in the web page's search box. If you're still unsure whether the camera is right for you, then why not check out some of our other reviews on the website to compare it with. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.